This is so good. This is so good. What has really, really served me in the past that I think more and more agents should be open to is this, Dominic. I got Dominic just hooked in. You see what I'm doing, guys? I got him just wheeled in. I got him all leaning in. What's he going to say? What's he going to say? So we take the information that we have with the seller. We have a conversation with the seller, but we are entering a marketplace where sellers can submit offers to buyers. Did you catch that? So what we're used to is buyers submitting offers to the seller. Well, what if there was a world where the seller made an offer to the buyer, to the buyer's agent? So after the showing, Andrew, I call you and say, hey, listen, what'd your buyer think? I don't know. They're hemming and hawing. I don't know if this is the right. I don't know. Well, what if you and the seller made an offer to you, your buyer, the same way you would to the seller? Sellers making offers to buyers with terms, and specifically this is what I'm talking about. A rate or payment reduction buy down. So what if we communicate, you like that, Colton? What if you, as the listing agent, called the buyer's agent, Andrew, and said, hey, listen, I know you guys had showed the property this morning. I know the buyer's kind of thinking about it. The seller would like to offer the opportunity, X amount of dollars, towards the buyer getting a lower interest rate and a lower payment if they felt this house made sense. So now we're the one initiating the negotiation instead of it always being the buyer. And so I don't know about you guys, but I don't see anybody talking about this. I don't see any agents doing this. And it's critical. Why can't you? Why can't the seller offer the buyer something? Colton, you want to add something? I know you're taking notes, which is great.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to like most of us are aware of, maybe not if you've gotten in the business in the last year or two, but most of us are aware of seller concessions, right? And so it's like 4 or 5 years ago, it was pretty normal. Most of the deals I did had some type of seller concession. Exactly. But now this is the same thing, but directed towards the number one problem buyers are having, which is their interest rate.
That's exactly right. So, man, I'm so excited about this one. I'm going to be screaming from the mountaintops in our coaching calls about this because it's a great. Let me just add this one thing, and I want you guys to unpack it. There's nothing better that we can do to move the needle for our seller as the listing agent is calling that buyer's agent, interacting, not just sitting back. I hate that shit. Like agents just sitting back and hoping and praying that they get an offer. No, let's play some offense. And the offense, Ron, is I call you. You're the buyer's agent. And before the showing, this is what I do. And I use this at the listing appointment. And I call every buyer's agent before every showing. And I say, Ron, listen, before you show the property today at 4 o'clock, I just want to give you a couple updates. I just sent you an email with a detailed feature sheet. The seller went in great detail to help you show the property easier. And during your showing, if you have any questions, I'm going to have my phone on me. So if they have any questions or you have any questions, just call or text me. I'll be available during your showing. Number 2, the seller, Bob and Joe Smith, they're looking to relocate. They're super motivated sellers, very reasonable people. And so what I would ask you is, as you're showing the property, if your buyers have any interest at all, let's talk about an offer that might make sense for both parties. Fair enough? Ron says, cool, man. Thank you so much. He's never been treated that way. Then after the showing, say, Ron, how'd the showing go? Ron says, it went pretty good. I say, listen, I talked to Bob and Joanne, and they wanted me to pass this along to you and your buyer. They'd like to make your buyer an offer. Because of interest rates and how high they are, I don't know what type of financing your client's getting or what their plans are, but they'd like to offer X dollars, call it $5,000, either off the price of the home, or they'd like to put that into the buyer's interest rate to help them get a lower payment. So can you do me a favor? Can you pass that along to the buyer? And we've made that first offer. Your guys' thoughts on that?
Well, again, I think it goes back to number one, being proactive. With the market the way it is, houses aren't selling as quickly. This is going to put you ahead of everybody else. It's going to put you in a position where you've got some new ideas. You're throwing out some new things to make things happen. Again, being proactive.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think too, like the communication standard, not just between like you and your clients, but with other agents, has to be different than it's been in the past couple of years. Cause we're so used to, again, like the craziness, like we would submit an offer and then you don't even hear back from the seller agent, the listing agent, and until, or you don't even hear back. You just see that it's under contract like that. And then that's how you're notified. Right. And so having this difference in communication is going to be, in my opinion, I think that it's going to be massive if you're able to communicate in that way to a buyer's agent and show them that you are a different type of listing agent, which is going to be better.
Yeah, 100%. So listen, gentlemen, appreciate your time. I hope you watching, the audience, we're going to do this, the reverseselling.com team, we're going to do this every week. Okay, we're going to take a topic just like we did today. We'll take 30 minutes. We'll break it down in great detail so that after you watch this podcast episode, you got some practical takeaways that can impact your business. And so, gentlemen, thank you guys so much for the time.